what you do, and then who you're asking the question to.
Okay. My name is Shema Senga Christian, and I come from Rwanda. I work for Kepler College as a library manager and a lecturer. I'm very pleased about what Isaka is doing. My college is trying to also partner with companies like PeopleSat, Article 26. Probably we can talk more if we can find any partnership venue. If you allow me, I could come back to the previous panel. Didn't have time to talk to them.
Okay.
And the question is directed to the Daktari. He talked about lecturers, the faculty being the primary coach for in career services. Are there any tips you should give us on how does the career office work with the faculty to make sure that lecturers, professors have some basic knowledge about career guidance? Or you recommend if a student comes to me and asks about a career, I should refer the students directly to your office? Thank you.
Thank you very much for that particular question. Our starting point in linking mentees to mentors starts with seeking volunteers who will be interested in mentoring our students. And we always issue some form for the faculty members to be able to express their interest in being enrolled into our mentorship program. Then thereafter, we design some mentorship training programs. And we do go through a series of content areas so that we are able to bridge them in terms of knowledge in what they need to have a mastery in order to be able to hold those mentorship sessions and to be able to link those students to the industry. The faculty have diverse knowledge and skills in different areas. And many times after the training, then we issue them an appointment letter as a mentor, and we have them in our data bank. And for the students, we always issue forms for them to be able to express interest in being mentored. And in those particular forms, we capture their data, and we do mentor them across different areas. There is the knowledge area, where we could be able to link them with a mentor in a given specialization. Then we do mentor them on social aspects. Then we do have psychological aspects and any other emerging area that they might be interested in. And so a student will always have one or two mentors attached to them. But it is not only restricted to those particular mentors. And so our mentorship program is based on campus. We also do link with specific mentors within our alumni. And for many of the students, since this program was started, for those who graduated, we also follow them in the industry so that we sustain that particular mentorship program. So it's deep-rooted. And the very first step is the training aspect. And I think we could be able to discuss beyond this particular session so that we could be able to see how we could also maybe form partnerships and hold your hands in establishing such a relationship. Thank you.
Thank you very much. There's a question here. Okay. There's a question. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Patricia Kamene, the Vice President of Tangaza University College. And my question goes to...
Kindly, do you mind being a bit audible?
Oh, I'm not audible.
Yes.
I'm Patricia Kamene, the Vice President of Tangaza University College. And my question goes to Mr. Kevin. Yeah. From yesterday's conversation and today's conversation, I understand that you are a technology guru, actually, somehow. So my question is, I'm a person with visual impairment, and you find that sometimes some softwares are not compatible with the screen readers. And it's so hard for I, as a person with visual impairment, to maneuver or to navigate in terms of technology. So I'm asking, what is the way forward, or what can we do to make sure that technology is so inclusive for a person with visual impairment, and a person with visual impairment can either pursue a degree in computer science?
That's a fantastic question. Thank you for that. I'll take the last question there, and then we can jump in. Otherwise, I feel like it will take too long. Thank you for your question. There is a gentleman there.
Okay. Good morning.
Good morning.
Once more, my name is Steven Nyakerudiambo. I'm student leader from Kirinyaga University. So, my question goes to, I don't know, are you getting me?
Yes, just be a bit more audible.
Okay, so my question goes that currently, actually, even the head of the state has assured us that labor is one of the greatest resources that we have in this country. However, there are still cases of international segregation or social discrimination. And yet, the head of ISACA actually is telling us that, that the organization is internationally recognized. So, how are you collaborating with the Ministry of Labor to ensure that cases of social segregation and also international discrimination is avoided, and also with the NITA? How are you collaborating with the Ministry of Labor to ensure that after our workers get satisfied, so that the cases of segregation and discrimination is avoided? Otherwise, thank you.
Another very good question. I feel like I should have told you guys to come here and ask these tough questions. I love it. So back to, I think we can start with Kevin.
So thank you, Patricia Wright, for the question. And I know there is a bit of institutionalization in terms of inclusivity. Most universities have what we call, I think, a disability committee. So where they look at all the aspects, whether it is having a ramp, whether it is on the website, whether it is you're having screen readers and high contrast and all this. But the thing is, I believe it's still an afterthought. It's still an afterthought, yet it should be the first thing we think of. I also coordinate ODEL, which is Open Distance and E-Learning, and usually look at the learning management system. And some of the things that usually asked when you're looking at inspection for accreditation is, are you creating content that is inclusive? Are you creating content that, for example, if it is a video, does it have subtitles? If it is any kind of write-up, what is the font size? What is the contrast? What is the bold? And all these kind of things. But anytime you hear, and again, I'm speaking from a technology expert perspective, I can say that we still do it as an afterthought, yet it should be the first thing to make our work very easy. So I believe it is an unexploited space that really needs not only just to become an afterthought, but the first thing we think of when you're trying to ensure that education is inclusive, especially STEM education like computer science.
Fantastic, that's a good answer. So I guess we have a long way to go. Okay. Princeton, please.
Yeah, I'll talk about segregation, particularly from the ISACA side, and I'll look at it on this angle as we see it. We have a foundation called One in Tech, and within One in Tech, in 2018, ISACA started She Leads Tech, and we have the liaison. What is She Leads Tech doing? We are trying to see that ladies have been left behind on employment and on the technology side. And we address that by trying to promote awareness on that area, and also trying to encourage them to take the right courses like STEM. So even tomorrow at ISACA, we have a one full day event on diversity, on diversity. So that how do we have women included in all these sectors, and why we should not discriminate on gender. So that's how ISACA does that. It goes further to give them some scholarships, which anyone can apply. Even here, if you go to Isaka One Intake, and you can apply and get that sponsorship, and for 2 years they will mentor you, they will tell you, you will be given somebody to guide you and help you on your journey, what you want to achieve. And that's how we have inclusivity. I don't know whether I've answered the question.
Yeah,
but not with Ministry of Labor, I'm not saying, but we work a lot. Isaka works a lot with Ministry of ICT and other ministries. We do. Even right now, what the Ministry of ICT is doing, we are called to give our opinion on the legislations which they want to do. Thank you.
I want to add something on that, and that is a very good question. I normally advise that you look for something you are passionate about doing and pursue a career in that direction. That way, nobody will be able to resist you. If I do, I study in IT and I'm not really passionate about it, and I'm a lady, and a gentleman studies and is very passionate about it, even when they have not studied it, the other person who is very passionate about it, they take it as a hobby and they pursue it. Like I have a gentleman in the congregation here who is working in my office as a work scholarship student. We call it work study. This gentleman is doing IR, International Relations, at the university. But working in my office, he does the posters, he does so many IT-related items. I normally advise that when you go out there, you are at the workplace, or you are being interviewed for a job, please let your passion come out, even in that interview, even if it is not fully related. You see, if this gentleman goes to an office in IR and they are doing other things that are IT related, they will grow. They can even be diverted to this other career, depending on their passion and what they can do best. So look for something you are passionate about and develop a career along that, and that way you will thrive in your career. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I know there was a question to Irene, maybe 1 minute. You could just answer the question as from Nita, and then I will wrap it up. There's a gentleman who asked a question around how do you, and sir, correct me if I'm wrong, if you can hear, you can just ask the question again, but correct me if I'm wrong. But I think his question was around how do you ensure that there's no discrimination? Yes.
Actually, from the Ministry of Labor, we have a lot of people who are going out, the migrant workers, and especially those that are going to Saudi and Qatar and in many others. And what is actually happening is that we try our best to make sure that each and every person that goes out there is properly trained, because actually the training is when they go there and do the wrong things, that is when issues come up. But when they do the correct things, then that aspect of mistreatment and discrimination and all that actually goes down. We also have people that we have put there, like labor attaches, who actually are on the ground. So any kind of distress or anything that happens out there can actually be reported to the people that are there. We also have embassies which are live to that particular issue. And what they do is that if you get any kind of discrimination or anything, then you can report or you can reach to them. And once you reach to them, they're actually sorted out. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So I think to wrap it up, I'd like to thank Nita Kihoro, Princeton Odero, Kevin Tuai, Paul, and Irene. And also, one of the things that I think we heard about certification is it's good to get the certificate that you're getting right now. However, do not be limited. To be able to open the world of, Europe and jobs, you need to upskill. It's very, very important to upskill. So our certificates are relevant, however, they're not enough. We need to keep upskilling, and there's so many companies, memberships that you can join. I would say all of us should be able to reach out to any of the panelists to be able to ask any other questions that you might have. So my name is Eileen Montet-Chule. I was your moderator for this session today, and happy to connect. Thank you.
Thank you very much to the panel again and to the fantastic moderator. You may now leave the stage. Was that useful to you, especially to the students in the room? Yeah, I think sometimes, as I sit here trying to piece together what delegates are feeling, and by that I mean delegates who are students. I remember my time when I was a student at the University of Nairobi, for example, and I often used to sit and come to these sessions and I would wonder, will I make it? Is that a feeling you're feeling? Yeah, you get to worry, yes, I'm in uni, my parents are paying, or I've got a scholarship and I'm here, but am I gonna make it? Yes, you are. Part of the making it is attending these kind of sessions, learning, meeting new people, and experiencing what conferencing is about, learning to network. I remember when I was in uni, I joined ISEC. I don't know if ISEC is still there. It was an association for students of economics. I joined that, and I know that it had a powerful effect on how I became the leader that I then would become. I joined the United Nations Model UN. Again, just as a student at UON. What I see different here is that you have so many more options online. And even now as an adult, as a leader, I am in school. I'm in school on these online classes. This year alone, I've done 7. 4 are free. So really, as we heard earlier on when the gentleman, Sam Kanje, was talking to us from LinkedIn, some of the time it is us who choose not to bother. To go online, you've got the laptop, you've got the phone, get on it. It really, really will change your life when you're walking out the door as a graduate. Does that make sense? Don't feel government will sort everything. It does help a lot, but it doesn't do everything. A lot of it is back to us. Back to us, the student, back to us, the Kenyan. Remember too that, and I'll talk about that when we come back after the tea break, remember that Kenya will be opening up its borders. As His Excellency the President has said, we're going to be a visa-free country, which means every African national is free to enter Kenya for tourism, for trade, and also to study. So remember that then again, the game goes higher up. You, the Kenyan, you're already on top of it because we have been very lucky. We've had a very peaceful, generally, a very peaceful 60-odd years since independence. We're all here. We've all managed to get to school and all of that. But the game opens widely from next year, January 1st, 2023. Excellence is never an accident. It is always the result of 3 things. The result of high intention, sincere effort, and intelligent execution. I leave you with that, and I will see you in half an hour. We will be having the CS of Youth, Arts and Sports, and he's very dynamic. There'll be Q&A session, so create your questions in advance, and he'll be joined by your VC and other panelists. So I'll see you again in 30 minutes, hopefully. Listen out for the bell, and then come in. Have a good tea break. Thank you.